Did Garrett Wilson fire some shots at the University of Texas at Austin? Texas is playing in March Madness, headed to the Sweet 16, and Garrett Wilson took to Twitter and quoted a video of the Texas celebration in the locker room, the basketball locker room that is, and said this, quote, "I love seeing the University of Texas value the talent in their backyard of Austin, ... And now they're winning, period. Crazy how that worked. Love to see it. Haha, period." Garrett Wilson obviously went to Ohio State, but he played his high school ball at Lake Travis in the city of Austin, more or less. Again, right in the backyard for Texas. So this felt like a little bit of shade being thrown. I think we need to talk about it a little bit more in depth. If you're a Texas fan, you look at this and you say, gosh, Garrett Wilson might have wanted to go to Texas. Again, Garrett Wilson obviously went to Ohio State, did great things there, now playing for the Jets. But you feel just a little bit like, man, did we miss out on Garrett Wilson? Garrett Wilson, before the draft, joined the Rich Eisen show. That's Nick Brake's guy, Rich Eisen, and talked a little bit about his recruitment and why he chose Ohio State over Texas. And right off the bat, he made it sound like Texas was sort of in the rest of the pack with schools that recruited him. They weren't really early to his recruitment, but he also said Texas is coming off some down years. So you talk about timing, you talk about Texas making them feel like a priority. Sounds like that wasn't really all aligned. So again, if you're a Texas fan, you're like, gosh, dang it, man. Could we have had Garrett Wilson? And to be honest with you, hindsight's 2020. But where I'm sitting, if you land Garrett Wilson for Tom Herman at Texas, does that change his time at Texas? Does that change the way that we perceive Tom Herman's career at Texas? The answer for me is I don't think so. That 2019 class that Garrett Wilson would have been a part of had 3 4-star wide receivers, had 1 5-star wide receiver by the name of Brew McCoy. He turned in 2 top 3 classes, did Tom Herman. So it wasn't like you missed out on Garrett Wilson and there was just nobody else around for you. It wasn't like the cupboard was just bare from a talent standpoint. Talent was never the issue for Texas and Tom Herman. Talent still isn't the issue for Texas. We'll talk more about that in a second. The bottom line is for Texas and for Tom Herman, Garrett Wilson doesn't change the complexion of his time there. It was a culture and it was a development thing. Okay? Of those guys that went to Texas and were recruited there during that 2019 period, of those receivers, Brew McCoy's at Tennessee now. The rest of them haven't done a ton out of their career. That's not to knock what they've been at the collegiate level. It's more so to knock that Texas got all this talent, got all these top 3 classes in-house with Tom Herman, and failed to make good on it. So, yes, you feel frustrated you didn't land Garrett Wilson. That would have been really nice. Probably helps you, but again, I don't think Tom Herman's still the head coach of Texas because he lands Garrett Wilson. I think it worked out for Garrett Wilson just fine too. The Sarkeesian era will be judged not by talent, by development, and by culture. Something Tom Herman didn't do. Again, it wasn't a talent thing. It was a development and it was a culture thing. Okay, got some more thoughts on that. Make sure you're subscribed. People say that a lot on YouTube, and I feel like we just got to explain a little bit more. When you subscribe to this channel, 1, it helps us because it boosts us algorithmically. 2, it helps us have a better gauge for what you want to see content-wise. Doesn't cost you anything. College football every single day. Would love to have you a part of this, okay? So that's my plug there. Also, follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter, @JDPakel. I just say that because I like to hear from y'all. That's an easy medium for us to hear from you. So we appreciate y'all in advance for that. Like I was saying, not a talent thing. Never has been at Texas. Steve Sarkisian has landed a number 3 class and a number 5 class in the 2023 and 2022 classes, respectively. So they got some dudes at Texas now. All right, we've known that for some time. The encouraging thing, if you're a Texas fan, is you've already seen a little bit of positive ROI from these classes. Kelvin Banks, offensive lineman, showed up. Day 1, he's that guy. He's a starter. He is a dog. Okay, so yes, he's been developed and put in position to succeed, but you hit in a big way on Kelvin Banks. Cole Hudson, another offensive lineman, had to play early, held his own. So you've seen some of these guys from these classes that come in with a lot of stars next to their name and produce. That's not to say you saw nobody from the Tom Herman era do it, but you didn't see as much as you probably should have, right? And that's kind of the story around Texas and what has been for the past couple of years. recruit really well, invest really well, and not get the return on investment. What's up? For Steve Sarkisian and company, I know they're going into year 3. We got some feelings on that, but you've already seen some return on investment. It's never been a talent thing. It never was a talent thing. Garrett Wilson, if he went to Texas, would have helped Texas. I don't think it changes the story there. I don't think that they're winning national titles if Garrett Wilson goes to Texas. Again, zero shade at Garrett Wilson, obviously. Truly, I believe Steve Sarkisian will be judged by this 2023 class because it has so much talent, because you have someone who many consider to be generational in Arch Manning. There's a lot stocked now in the cupboard at Texas. And so now going into year 3, it's, have you developed the talent? Can you develop the talent going forward, like a Quinn Ewers? And can you develop a culture that is conducive to winning? Because if you show recruits, we can develop you and we're going to win, that's a pretty strong argument to make. Georgia, Alabama have been doing it for a long time, and they've got some hardware to prove it. Okay, so that's the direction, and that's the challenge for Texas next. Can you put the culture together with the talent? And can you develop that talent to win how you're supposed to win with that talent? All right, so just felt we needed to address this. Garrett Wilson, an Austin kid, even though he's got roots in Columbus, Ohio, he's an Austin kid, played his high school football in Austin. And it's unfortunate that he didn't end up being a Longhorn, but I don't think it's a matter of having a certain focus on a certain part of Texas and missing out on certain talent. Texas recruited fine. They always have. Better than fine. Recruited really well. It's not the issue. It's the internal way of doing things. It's why I feel good about Steve Sarkisian. It's why Tom Herman, among others, didn't succeed on the 40 acres. But they got spring football going. I promise you, we will keep an eye on that like a hawk going forward. The good folks at Inside Texas, our Texas on 3 site, they cover that better than anybody else in the industry. So get a membership over there. Again, subscribe here. It helps us help you. Follow me on the socials, at JD Pickell, Twitter, Instagram. We're live Tuesday. We're live Thursday, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. Golly, so happy we got ball back, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We're going to keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.